Okay, good evening. This is Luke Thomas Holmquist here at the Earthquake Forecast Center. It is 9:17 in the evening, 9:17 in the evening on Friday, August 6th, 9:17 in the evening. And we are going to give you an update on the forecast here in California, in Japan, Greece, Alaska, and other areas, Peru, Taiwan, and Indonesia as well. All right, first of all, in our Taiwan forecast, we had a second peak, this peak right here on the 6th, and we had this first peak on the 5th. The first one produced a 5.8. and the second one produced a 5.3, actually produced two 5.3s, one in the north here near Taipei, right there, and another one down here in southern Taiwan, another 5.3, and both of those were on this peak right here, the 100% peak risk. And we have two other peaks coming up, spikes in risk, one on the 9th and one on the 10th. Both of these should produce about a 5.0 earthquake in Taiwan. So those spikes in risk were right on schedule and accurate. All right. In Los Angeles, we were talking about a spike in risk on the 6th. Well, this one back on the 5th produced a 3.5, according to the computers, southeast of Los Angeles. And this peak on August 6th produced a 3.6, according to the computers right here, and they've downgraded it to a 3.4, but the computer said it was a 3.6, and also a 3.6 down here near the border. This one here northwest of LA happened in the morning at around 7:30 in the morning, right according to this risk graph here. So that verified. We were thinking it would be about a 5.0. But the risk also remains very high in the San Francisco, and we'll get to that in a second. All right, so we'll start with Anchorage, Alaska forecast. And we have a spike in risk coming up on August 8th, and one here on the 9th into the 10th. This one here on the 9th into the 10th could produce a 5.0 earthquake in the Anchorage area, and we will be getting better and better at the magnitude as we gather more data from these different earthquakes that happen around the world. So 5.0 is possible on the 9th, and a 4.5 is possible on the 8th in the Anchorage area. All right, we'll go to Bakersfield next. This spike in risk produced a 3.5 in Southern California, and this one produced a 3.6 just southwest of Bakersfield. All right, Coalinga. This peak produced a 3.5 in Southern California. This one, a 3.6 south of Coalinga. And we have a small peak coming up on the 9th. 40% risk in Coalinga area, and then 58% on the 12th, August 12th. In El Centro, this spike in risk produced a 3.5 in Southern California, northwest of El Centro, and this one here on the morning of August 6th produced a 3.6 north of Los Angeles in Southern California, and also produced a 3.6 right down here just south of El Centro on this spike in risk on August 6th. We have another spike coming up on August 9th in the El Centro area. It'll be interesting to see what that produces. Should be between about a 3.0 and a 3.5 on August 9th, late on August 8th into the morning of August 9th. All right, in Eureka, Northwest California, this spike in risk is actually coming up still tonight, and we're still expecting a significant earthquake in California, in Northern California from San Francisco to Eureka this evening within the next 3 to 4 hours, probably. We'll see what happens there. And then another spike in risk where a 4.0 is possible on August 10th in the Eureka area. Diverting to Hawaii for a second here, we have a spike in risk on August 6th and a stronger peak on August 10th. And Los Angeles, we were talking about this is 3.5 on this peak and 3.6 on that peak. And another spike in risk on the 9th in the morning could produce a 3.0 to 3.5. Reno, Nevada. This is a spike in risk on today, August 6th. And we had that 3.6 near Coalinga. And we have another peak coming up on the 10th, it looks like there. We'll get some more information on that one tomorrow. Ridgecrest in your current area in East Central California, this spike in risk here produced a 3.6. This one produced a 3.5 back on the 5th. And pretty quiet after that in Ridgecrest. Salt Lake City, we have a spike coming up on August 7th. So we'll see what that produces over in Salt Lake City on August 7th. San Diego, this peak produced a 3.5 northeast of San Diego. This one produced a 3.6 north of Los Angeles, and also a 3.6 southeast of San Diego. San Francisco, we're still expecting a significant earthquake, about a 4.0. This peak here is about 10 or 11 p.m. We'll see if that bears true in the next few hours. We could get a 4.0 to 4.2 during the next 3 to 4 hours in the San Francisco Bay on that peak right there. Santa Maria, we had that spike in risk on the 6th, which produced a 3.6 northeast of Santa Maria. This one produced a 3.5. And we have moderate risk here on the 7th. Seattle, Washington, pretty strong peak coming up there on August 8th. We'll see what that produces in the morning of August 8th. Athens, Greece. We have a strong peak coming up here on August 11th. And this should produce a 5.7 within 200-mile radius of Athens, Greece. So a 5.7 is likely near Athens, Greece, within 200 kilometers of Athens, Greece, the morning of August 11th. We'll see, that should be a significant earthquake. We'll see what happens there. And in Indonesia, 5.5 to 6.0 earthquake is possible on August 9th into the 10th. August 9th into the 10th near Jakarta, 5.0 to 6.0 is possible. Lima, Peru, we have a strong spike in risk coming up on August 10th into the 11th. This could produce a 5.0 to 5.5 late in the 10th into the 11th in Lima, Peru. All right. And then in Taiwan, we saw this produced a 5.8, this one 5.3, that spike in risk on the 6th. And these two peaks coming up on the 9th and 10th could produce a 5.0 in Taiwan. And one more here on in Japan. This produced a 5.8 quake on the 4th here, and this spike in risk here at 100% risk, and a swarm of quakes northeast of Tokyo. And this spike in risk coming up on the 9th into the 10th in Tokyo and Sendai could produce a 4.0 to 5.0 in the Tokyo Sendai area on late in the 9th into the 10th of August. And once more, looking at the San Francisco to Eureka forecast, we could get a 4.0 to 4.2 during the next 6 hours or so as this peak in risk releases its energy late on August 6th in the San Francisco Bay to the Eureka area. Also has a spike in risk there as well. Okay, and watch for that big quake coming up in Athens, Greece on the 10th, or it was the 11th? When was that? On the 11th, August 11th in the morning. And we will keep you updated here at quakeprediction.com, Earthquake Forecast Center. You can go to quakeprediction.com and find a city that's close to you and get your forecast for your area. We should be updating about the same time every day, between 8:30 and 9:30 every day here on YouTube. And we'll post those over on Facebook and Twitter with 165,000 followers. Thank you to every one of you. And we will talk to you again tomorrow. And stay safe. Thanks so much. Thank you so much.